The first time you open a new project in Silhouette Studio, you are brought into the page setup options, one of which is the ability to either hide a grid or show the grid. And in this particular example, designing a box, we'd like to show the grid. We're going to select the Draw Rectangle tool and sweep out the base of the box. And in this case, we're going to approximate a 2-inch box, but we can go into Scale, and the Scale tool will allow us to say that we want it to be exactly 2 inches on a side. If we wanted, we could use metric and specify millimeters instead of inches. So now we have a box that is 2 inches on a side. We're going to use this box to create additional boxes. The Replicate panel is just below the Transform panel, and we can use that to create a box that's another square that's to the left of the original base. Then if we reselect the base, we can create another one to the right. Then we'll reselect the base again, create one below. Finally, we'll reselect again and create one above. So now we have the base and the 4 sides. We'll need to replicate this one more time because we'll need a 6 square to create the fold lines later in the design process. In addition to using the Replicate panel, you can also right-click, and if you do that, that would let us make another box, which we can, for now, we're just going to put off to the side until we need it. Next, we're going to weld the base and the 4 sides into a single shape. In order to weld a shape, we need some overlap. So we'll select this top box, and we're going to use the point editing mode to add another point to the middle of the line, and then we'll just drag it in like this. And we'll do this for the other boxes so that we have some overlap for all 5 shapes. Then we can sweep out the area so that all 5 squares are selected. With all the shapes selected, we can use the Weld tool, and now we, instead of 5 separate squares, we have a single object. Now we're ready to add the fold lines. We can do that by creating a line style that is a dashed line, and the dashed line causes the die cutter to lift the blade and then set it back down to make a series of dashes that give us our fold line. Now that we have a fold line, I can drag this into place and drop it in here, and now those dashes will become the fold lines. We're also going to need some lines for the glue tabs. We'll need 4 glue tabs so that we can glue the sides together. And we'll start out by making a 2-inch line, which I'm going to create over here. Once again, we can use the Scale tool to get a line that's exactly 2 inches long. And then we want that, oops, let me do undo, which I can do here. And we want that 2-inch line to also have dashes. So I'll go back over to the Line tool and select dashes. I'll need to replicate this line as well. So I'll go back and select the replicate tool, and I'm going to create another one below. So now I have two of the fold lines for two of the glue tabs. Now after I replicate the next one, I'm going to want the other two glue tabs to be the other direction, vertical instead of horizontal, and I can use the rotate tool to rotate this line. And then once I've gotten this line rotated, I can duplicate it once more, and now I have all the fold lines that I'm going to need. I'm going to drag the first score line or fold line down onto the top of the left side, and once I've dropped it into place, then I want to select the box, and I want to use the point edit tool to create a couple of additional lines so that I can drag this side back out like this. And here's my next. I select the box again, use the point edit tool to create a couple more points to drag out and create a glue tab, and then I want to drag the score line in. Now there's advantages and disadvantages of the sequencing of putting in the fold line. You can either create the tab first and then drop in the fold line, or you can drop the fold line in on top of the edge before you create the glue tab. Either way will work. And then I have two more glue tabs to create, one on the bottom here, which I can sweep out and pull out another glue tab and then drop in the fold line. And now I can create the last glue tab, which I'm going to drag out to this side, and then once I've done that, I can drag the last remaining fold line into place. So now I have a box with four sides that have four glue tabs, and I'm ready to send the box to the Silhouette Portrait die cutter.